Hey everyone, and welcome to the back bedroom. I am your host Jeffrey, and this is episode 33. 33. How's everybody doing? Good, awesome. Check this out. Thought I was gonna have a plan for this week's episode. Nah, no plan. So I was gonna do because I finished the first. Well, I'm just diving right in. This is not even fair. I asked you how everybody's doing. I'm doing good. It's been a long week. Work's been crazy. Super hot. The weather is it's officially summer, but we have been hovering around the hundreds, just baseline temperature. And then once you factor in humidity and all that other stuff, we've been 110 plus. And I work at the post office, so I ride around in a metal truck all day. And if it's 100 but feels like 115, it's probably 130 in that truck. No joke, 125-ish. So it's been crazy. I honestly don't know how we keep doing this job if it keeps getting hotter. You can't do it. It's unbearable. So yeah, work's been just crazy. Temperature has been crazy. It drains you so much. So anyways, just, been petering along, but, again, I was gonna do, so I seem to, every time I include Game of Thrones, the episodes do well, so I'm either assuming I have Game of Thrones fan listeners, or Game of Thrones fans just out in the wild are always searching for stuff. Maybe it's a little bit of both. So my thought was to do a Game of Thrones book review / comparison, because I finished the first book and I was going to do compare it to the episodes, but then I started thinking about it and I was like, man, I hadn't seen the episodes since they aired, so it's tough for me to compare, because where this first book ends is, man, I don't even know as far as season wise. Look, I'm going to talk about it, so I guess technically it's spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, what are you doing? So the book ends with Ned getting his head chopped off, Drogo dying, and Khaleesi walking into the fire and hatching the eggs. I'm trying to think of the big people. Arya, I think she just got on a boat. I can't remember in the book. I know she saw the ship. I don't know if at the end of the book if she got on it or not. Tyrion is being sent now to King's Landing to help monitor Joffrey and Cersei. And as far as big characters, I think that, Jon Snow, Jon left. He deserted because he was going to go help Robb, but then the rest of the boys came and got him and brought him back. And so Jon's back at the Night Watch, because he was just told he's going to get to go beyond the wall. So, having said all that, again, I don't remember the episodes much. All I do know is obviously the book is more detailed, right? That's the thing with books. You always get more detail with the books. I've read other movie books, Jurassic Park, things like that. You do get stuff that's in the books, it's not in the movie, and vice versa, because movies are made for, general audience type things. They've got to get money, they've got to do the things that they do. Books can be targeted, right? Because if you don't want to buy my book, whatever. But, that's not really how they make movies, right? They make movies to capture as much as they can. So, anyways, there's definitely more depth in the books. I don't think I would do a fair job of a comparison because it's been so long. So maybe we can do some sort of a rewatch. I mean, I know we're creeping up on House of the Dragons coming out, and I'm definitely going to be doing stuff with and about it. So maybe after House of the Dragons, we can do a real good rewatch of Game of Thrones and go from there. So we'll see, but I can still talk about the books. I guess I'm going to start the second one soon. I did read it's a little bit more slower, because it sounds like it's kind of a lot more filler and everything. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, the books were good. The book was good. It was, John, everyone is a lot more tolerable in the book, I feel, from watching the show. Like, watching the show, Arya can get on my nerves a little bit. Dany can get on my nerves a little bit. And stuff like that. But in the books, they're a little bit more tolerable. Ned in the book, favorite. I mean, he really shined. I mean, he was good in the show, but he was so good in the book. I loved him in the books. Jon Snow is really good in the book. He's good on the show. Tyrion is weird. Tyrion I started liking later in the show. And even knowing all that, Tyrion in the book, there's something about him I'm not vibing with. The Mountain is a lot more scary in the book. Like, they purposely make it a point to say, hey, this dude is not to be messed with. Supposedly he's killed multiple wives and all this other stuff. He kills a few people already. But see, again, in the books, we don't get what we got in the show. So I don't know, man, it's going to be weird because like, for example, like in the book, when the Hound does his stuff in the books, I'm thinking, okay, I saw where his story went in the show, but that's not what we may get, right? Because in the books, I'm not sure where the last book ends off with the Hound storyline, but I wonder just how close it is to the show. But anyways, I guess I did kind of do a small review of the Game of Thrones book. It was good. The narrator was absolutely horrendous. And I know I talked about that once before, and I hate saying stuff like that because I think I remember reading he passed away, but to me, it's not good. Like, everybody has the same voice. So I don't know, just it didn't vibe too well with me. But there's a few things else I want to talk about. One major kind of thing is, for those listening to me that are excited about Thor Love and Thunder, so the premiere was like 2 or 3 nights ago, so be careful if you haven't already. I would be very, very careful being online these next week and a half, 2 weeks. Good chance you're going to see spoilers. This is a movie that probably has some good spoilers in it. So just PSA, throwing it out there. If you listen to this show and you're excited for Thor 4 and you didn't know, the premiere was the other night, so just be careful with that. Let's see, what else do I have written down here? I've got a whole bunch of stuff because this week kind of turned into a mishmash because, again, the heat and work just kicked my butt. So I really don't have a whole lot because I've been trying to do other things. I've been trying to do a lot of self-reflection type stuff. Like inner potential, self-realization, leading into like a midlife crisis type thing. Like, not saying I'm having a midlife crisis, but I was wondering if I was having a midlife crisis. And I'm like, man, I'm 33. If I'm having a midlife crisis, 66. Like, if it's midlife, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I don't think I am. I think it was just, but whatever. I'm trying to do some self-searching. While doing that, I'm finding that, while I'm doing all this, it just takes up some time, but it's good for me, and it's good just in general, right? Like, if you're listening, like, take you a couple of days, just like a couple of days to yourself, and really sit back and think about some things. I know I kind of got into it last episode with the Hobby Awakening, where I was talking about the video games at the end, and just how, like, this past month or so, like, it's kicked me in my butt where I'm thinking, wow, like, this is, like, writing, talking about, like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to do. Like, I wish I could have done with my life, right? But I'm 33, so, like, my life's not over. It's just now really starting, honestly, as far as everything else goes. So I'm trying to push myself to do more and look inside and say, hey, if we can do this, like, we can do this, right? We can do this for fun and see what happens. Like, I've got the little podcast here. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. Love talking to you guys, and I'm going to kind of stop talking about it because I don't want to talk about it, because I've been reading And I feel like this was an issue of mine in the past, where if you come up with the idea, you say, hey, I'm going to go be a race car driver. And then you tell everybody, I'm going to be a race car driver. I'm going to go through the training. I'm going to sign up for this class. I'm going to learn how, and I'm going to do it. You get that thrill, like the stuff releases in your brain then as you're telling people, right? Because you're getting excited. You're thinking about it, and you never do it because then you feel fulfilled, right, from it. So I'm not going to talk about some of the other stuff I'm doing because I don't want to get that enjoyment out of it because I haven't done it yet. But it is something that I want to do and very passionate about. And it all kind of morphs into this podcast and stuff like that. So I do have some really fun, cool ideas. But you're going to have to wait to hear them because, again, I don't want to talk about them. But I'm saying all this to circle back to say, hey, do some self, look inside. And I know people are probably listening to this thinking, hey, I clicked on the Back Bedroom podcast. I didn't expect to get this. Well, welcome to the back bedroom, right? Because when you're in the back bedroom, you're with friends, you're sitting around, you're talking, you're having a good time. This is the kind of stuff that comes up. And don't tell me it don't, because I know it does. I know it does. Friends sitting around, you start talking about, man, what do you do? Da, 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 da. This is what we do. I'm feeling good. You're feeling good. You're liking it. I'm liking it. So this week went from not having a plan for the episode to now we got a plan. We're talking about self-reflection. We're talking about self-internalization, realization, inner potential. Everybody's got inner potential. Everybody's got potential. Just what do you want to do with it? You got to get it and do it. Today was a good day. I'm recording this on June 26th. It's a Sunday. Had a good day. We had a daddy-daughter day today. We had a really good day today. We sat back. We hung out. She had a good time. I had a good time. We watched some League of Legends stream matches on the TV while she watched her kid shows on her tablet. We had some craisins. She loves craisins. We had some craisins. And then we had a really fun, I hadn't done anything like this in a long, long time. We linked up with some friends, some new friends of mine. Well, they're not new. Well, they're newer-ish. They're some friends that I've met because of the podcast and stuff. We played some video games. It was a good-ass time. Oh, man, it was a good time. Needed it. Felt good. Felt real good. Hadn't played video games like that with people in a while. So it was a good time. And then as it was, I was like, I got to go record the episode. I got to go do that. So here I am. I'm recording the episode off of a good vibe feel, playing some video games. We're talking video games. So Thor 4 premiere happened. Be careful. Game of Thrones book is good. Here you go. Marvel, the MCU, Kevin Feige has said that they will be back at Hall H this year. Hall H panel is back at San Diego Comic-Con. Very, very exciting. He's been talking a lot recently about the upcoming saga, the next 10 years or 5 years. Very, very exciting. I'm wondering if we get some Fantastic Four news. I know I read something the other day saying that he cast Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness because the fans had this idea of a perfect Reed Richards, and he wanted to give the fans that chance since it was an alternate version type thing or alternate universe type thing. But man, I really hope Krasinski's our Reed. His look was spot on. Just give me Krasinski as Reed Richards. So yeah, so Marvel's coming back. They've missed the past couple years, right? 2 years, I believe they've missed. So that's really, really exciting and fun stuff. I definitely will talk about that once they do it, because again, they have a knack for announcing some really big things at previous ones. So we'll have to see what they do. Before I get into some other stuff, because we're already like 15 minutes into this podcast, just real quick, you know what I got to do. So sit back, hang out, check it out. If you like the back bedroom, if you like that self-realization, right? That talk of inner potential, that talk of realizing who you are and let's having a good time about it. All you got to do, well, if you like it, you want to show support, right? So to do that for $0, 0 cents, just share the show on your social media accounts. It's completely free. Helps me out a bunch. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you are social, tell some people about the back bedroom. All right, back to what I was saying. They have a knack for dropping some big stuff at these Hall H's. San Diego Comic-Con. Tabletop Gaming. I've brought it up before a few times. Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, D&D. There's a Marvel game out there. What else do you do tabletop? I don't know, because I'm not a tabletop gamer. But I tell you what I want to be. I want to be involved in some tabletop gaming. It just looks so much fun. We were watching, what's that pawn shop show? Ancient Pawn? No, not Ancient Pawn. Pawn Shop? Or Pawn Stars? The idiots in Las Vegas. You know, like the bald dad and the two sons. Or the one son and the other whatever kid. So, somebody brought in these Magic the Gathering cards that they made to test if the Magic the Gathering was going to work. It was literally like little squares cut from pieces of paper that they had just wrote stuff down on, and they were called like the Gamma cards. Like, they were literally test cards. They took it to this dude who owns a card shop in Vegas, and the dude couldn't believe that this guy had a whole set of them. He said, because they probably brought in like a test group of people to test out this game. They literally made these cards out of paper. And he said most of these probably got thrown away. But somehow this dude had them. And, he said the value of them is only going to continue to go up because you'll never find them. And it showed them kind of talking about Magic. And it got me kind of thinking. And I follow a lot of Warhammer stuff because I love the miniature painting and things like that. And right before COVID happened, I had found a local game shop and I was going to start going because they had a beginner league type thing for D&D and Warhammer and Marvel. God, what is that Marvel game? I can't remember. And so, but COVID happened and it kind of slowed everything down. Also, before COVID, I went to a couple of local Magic tournament type things. Really fun. One was like the launch of the new expansion or whatever. So you get like some free cards. I stayed for a few hours and played Magic with some people. A lot of fun. Had a good time doing that. But man, and I've got to get some more things kind of in line before I can really start doing stuff like that again. But I really would love to be involved with something like that. I think that would be so much fun, whether it is the miniatures or Magic. And I'm not talking about I don't need like a $5,000 deck, or I don't need the top miniatures, but just something fun to kind of mess around with and be involved in. I think it would be so much fun. That kind of community, group thing is just, it's so refreshing when you're a part of one, right? And I think that's why I was just talking about the game session I had earlier today is so much fun, because it's that community, right? Like, there was 5 or 6, I think there was like 5 of us in the Discord thing, and we're having a good time. And it's just, man, it's just so much fun. It's just kind of having that community aspect. You're just in there having a good time with some people you like, and it's a lot of fun. So I'd love to find a cool a gaming shop to go to. Those of you listening, do you attend anything like that? Is anything close to you? You can go to a game shop and Warhammer or Magic and stuff like that. Let me know. I bet it's a lot of fun. Again, I'd love to have something like that. But here, there's not many local options for stuff like that. I remember when we went to Dragon Con a few years ago, there was like a whole building dedicated to D&D, Warhammer, and all those other tabletop. They had like a miniature painting competition and stuff like that. It was just, man, it was so cool to see. Stuff like that, just my interest level shoots off the book with stuff like that. Let's see, what else do I have? I got a couple other things jotted down, but I just don't think they really fit this episode. I did write down Obi-Wan review, which, again, not fair to review it because I hadn't finished it yet. So we're going to hold off on that. meditation. I wrote that down. That's something I've been doing lately. Again, that kind of ties in with the self-reflection type stuff. It's, I'll be honest with you guys, because, y'all are my crowd, my audience. I've been seeing a therapist now for like 2-3 months. It's been a lot of fun and help, really. It's been a lot of help. Nothing crazy, just thought, you know what? Kind of everything going on. Let's go see. And with the insurance, it helped cover / pay for stuff like that. And so just taking advantage of an opportunity. And he's a really cool guy. And he's given me some kind of pointers and different directions to kind of take. Really lets me take the lead on things, and then comes in with things I can try, which I think has really helped spur my this self, journey that I want to take myself on, because I'm like, man, I gotta do this stuff. So I did write that down. So if any of you meditate, or any kind of anything like that, like, let me know some tips and tricks that you have found that work for you. Maybe he kind of gave me the goal of take 5 minutes a day. So I've been really diligent, about that. I found, oddly enough, that I find a really good time frame at work. It's like halfway through the route, I'll stop, and I've got one of those cooling towels. It works really, really well. It's like Chillo or something like that. So I've got one of these cooling towels. And I'll take my glasses off and put it on my face, and it's so cold. I mean, so cold. The towel says it stays like 30-something degrees lower than my body temperature. It's probably colder than that, because I keep it in my lunchbox with my ice packs and stuff. So I put it on my face, super cold, and I'll just stop and kind of, start doing my breathing and take a few moments. And there's this one spot right around about halfway where I can turn around, and the shade is right there because of some trees. I'll pull over right there, and I'll kind of sit right there. And I've found it to be so interesting, because the past few days when I've done it, I've put it on, and I've said to myself, as I'm breathing, I've thought to myself, you're just like kind of at a paradise beach, nice beachfront, just relaxing. And all 3 days this past week that I did it, in that location with the cold Chillo towel on my face, this really big, strong breeze will start. The whole time I'm sitting there, and it's blowing. But as soon as I take it off my face and start driving, that breeze stops. And I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I'm saying is, it's funny how stuff like that works. Power of the mind type stuff. So Marvel back at Hall H. Thor 4 premiere. Be careful with that. Today was a good day, man. Crowd, group, roommates, back bedroom roommates. It was a fun day. Played some video games, got on Discord, had a good time. Some of the people that I play with are probably going to hear this episode. You know what I'm talking about. You know what? And while I have you all here, can I just say one thing? Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass. I'm 23 minutes into this episode. Let me tell you a little something about Xbox Game Pass. In case you don't know about Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is the single greatest thing ever to be invented. It's how Microsoft has not taken over the world with Xbox Game Pass yet. Blows my mind. Why is everything else in my life not on Game Pass? Why is food not on Game Pass? Why is Dr. Pepper not on Game Pass? Why is Discord not on Game Pass? How come my podcast, how come the back bedroom isn't on Game Pass yet? You tell me. You go ask Phil Spencer that, and then you report back to me. Speaking of Xbox and Phil Spencer, I really want to replay Gears of War. That was a really fun series of games. And I know that it's probably not as... the online community and stuff isn't there probably anymore, but Gears of War Judgment was a lot of fun. I put a lot of time into that when it came out. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it. I would love to play Gears and have like a full Horde mode with the squad. It'd be a lot of fun. Horde mode, one of the best game modes in video game history. I'll say it. You heard it here on the Back Bedroom. Horde mode from Gears of War, one of the best game modes in video game history. I'll be honest with you guys. I like today's episode. It's almost 30 minutes long, and I feel like we covered and talked about a lot. I honestly almost didn't record today because I was like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to talk about. But you know what? I feel good about it, and I think we had a good time. I had a good time. Did you have a good time? I did. We'll have something next week for sure. We'll be targeted in next week. I may even try to pop an extra one out this week just because got a little something cooking. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so that will, if it's okay with you, I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. There are tons of other podcasts you could be listening to, and you chose to listen to the Back Bedroom. And for that, I am forever thankful. So if you want to interact with me or the show, here's how you can do so. Twitter at the Back Bedroom. You can email the show at backbedroompod@gmail.com, or you can YouTube the show at the Back Bedroom. Question: if I canceled the Twitter for the show and just made my personal Twitter account kind of be the show's Twitter account, would that work for you guys? Because, like, me personally, and I've been reading some things, like, video games, for example, let's just say there's God of War news coming out tomorrow. I've got to go tweet about it twice and retweet it twice, right? Once for the Back Bedroom account and once for my personal account. To me, that feels silly. I'm retweeting and commenting on the same things twice with the Back Bedroom account and my account. So I'm thinking about canceling the Back Bedroom Twitter and just having my Twitter be the show's Twitter, right? Because you see me, it would be the same thing. I could still post the logo and have a good time. The logo would be everywhere else. Just no Twitter. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that. I think it's a good idea. But you let me know. I won't make any decisions without you guys signing off on it. And of course, to get back on track, you can always find the show wherever you listen to the podcast. Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, Amazon, Podchaser, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and rate for the algorithm. Wherever you do listen to the podcast, please give us a rating, whether it's Spotify or Apple. 5 stars, so huge. Good Pods, anywhere you listen to the show, give us a rate, give us a review. It means the world, and it helps so much. And as always, I will see y'all next time, right here. Okay? I'm going to see y'all next time. The very next time, I'll see you right here in the Back Bedroom. Love y'all.